In this video, we're going to be having a look at a comparison between Solana and SUI right here. We're going to be having a look at these two, finally getting down and breaking down for once and for all which one is the better ecosystem. If you guys do like these daily Bitcoin updates or crypto updates, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, turn those notification bells on so you guys never miss a video. So having a look right here, straight into the Google Sheets right here, which one is better? We're going to be dissecting, diving in. We're going to be squaring which one is better by putting a green mark, something like that, onto the side. In the middle, we have Solana ecosystem. On the right side right here, we got the SUI ecosystem, and let's dive in. So feature, obviously, Solana versus SUI right here. Let's dive into the consensus mechanism real quick. First of all, we have proof of history and proof of stake for Solana right here. And of course, when you look at SUI, we're looking at an old traditional proof of stake, nothing else. Okay, so if we're looking at consensus mechanism, despite a bunch of network outages, obviously we're gonna still have to give that one to Solana because proof of history is still pretty new and it's still pretty good. And despite having all these outages, it's still working pretty well, and the fact that you have proof of stake as well on top of that is pretty darn good. Proof of stake DPoS is obviously the old traditional ones. A lot of these cryptos are using this, so it's a little bit too mainstream for me. But if we're looking at the consensus mechanism, we have to give it to Solana. Transaction speed, this is where things change everything. 65,000 TPS, don't get me wrong, that is still freaking amazing. But 297,000 transaction is literally insane, and we have to literally give that one to SUI. And remember, guys, 65,000 transaction speed is at its peak, and we know what happens when Solana, reaches that. It tends to crash, shut down. The ecosystem gets down. People can't trade anymore. People can't sell, can't buy on dexes, and it just becomes a huge disaster for the ecosystem. And then people get scared and they pretty much dump it on exchanges. Having a look at transaction at time to finality, we're looking at 12.8 seconds, and for SUI we're looking at 400 milliseconds. So that is really freaking fast if you ask me. 400 milliseconds to 12.8 seconds. I mean, guys, it just cannot be that, right? Even though 12.8 seconds is still really darn fast. Again, okay, we still have to get that one to pretty much SUI. Having a look at the programming language, well, one is Rust, one is Move. So obviously two very new programming languages that a lot of these cryptos don't actually use today. It's kind of like saying Cadena and Pact. So obviously all these cryptos are still very new when it comes to their programming languages. So pretty interesting. I'm not going to give a green mark to any of that. So I'm just going to put it neutral for now. As of right now. And me, guys, I'm not a developer, so it doesn't really matter to me as of that. I like money, I like to make money, I like to see stats and etc. If we have a look at market cap, we're looking roughly at 78 billion. And what I meant to say is not that I like money, but I like numbers. Okay, and we could see right here that the market cap of Solana is sitting at 78.68 billion. The market cap of SUI is sitting at $5.63 billion. Now, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for, crazy growth, which SUI will have, I would probably go with SUI. If you're looking for something steady, slow and steady, I would probably go for Solana, especially if you're new to crypto and you probably cannot handle the volatility. I would probably go with Solana sitting at a $78 billion market cap. The reason why is because it won't have crazy moves like SUI does. SUI is already down 4.6%. Solana is up 1.7%. So obviously the volatility on Solana it's still going to be high. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be as high as a low market cap such as SUI. Now, if we have a look at the trading volume, obviously 860 million. Solana does have a $4.6 billion worth of volume, which is pretty high. But like I said, guys, it depends on you. For me, I like, crazy gains. So I'm going to have to go with, with Solana. With SUI, I do think that SUI is also undervalued, and I think that Solana is overvalued. But of course, that is just my thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor at all, so if you guys do, so always make sure to do your own research and due diligence. Having a look at the total supply, guys, total supply of Solana, 586 million tokens. On SUI, we're looking at 10 billion. Now, it's not really 10 billion because we're actually looking at total supply. Now here it does says 586 million. If we actually go on Solana right here, yes, it's 587 million now. Okay, so there was a slight inflation on that. I can't deny it, of 200,000 tokens. So obviously Solana does have an inflation, but the circling supply is sitting at 470 million tokens, okay, which is okay. Max supply, it's infinite, okay. So that's the negative thing about Solana. It does have an infinite supply. If we have a look right here at SUI, we do have a max supply of 10 billion. And of course, the total supply is 10 billion right now at the moment, which is pretty good. It's okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best. But we don't have a crazy inflation. So if we have a look at Solana, just a quick update. If we have a look at the market cap and we go on max and we take the log, we could see right here that the market cap of Solana actually in the last bull market was sitting at $75 billion. So right now we're sitting at $75 billion, except look at that. The price is sitting at 250. A few years later, the price is sitting at 166. So we're looking at the same market cap level with a $100 differential. So not the best, not the worst, obviously, but of course, in that case, I'm definitely going to have to go with SUI with a $10 billion market cap crypto. Launch date, of course, is pretty neutral, nothing too crazy. I mean, the launch date of Solana was April 2020. 2 years later, SUI launched in July 2022. Numbers of validators. Okay, this is where we have to give Solana a point. There's no doubt. 1,400. You guys can see in this graph right here, and this is as the last reported 8. Okay, so this is 8 validators right here. Obviously, Solana is a bigger ecosystem. It's crazier. It's older. 1,400, you know, there's no reason why that number shouldn't be there. TVL, guys, $5 billion. Of course, as last reported, $5 million right here. Since I made this chart, this thing can fluctuate, go up and down, of course. SUI does have a $1 billion TVL. So if you're looking for some sort of security, if you're looking for a lot of liquidity, if you're a freaking whale, even though $1 billion is a lot. So I'm not saying $1 billion is not a lot. $1 billion is a shit ton of money, okay? But if you're looking for bigger, you know, liquidity, obviously Solana is there, TVL, $5 billion. So you have to give that green point to Solana. So right now we're looking at 3 to 4. So 4-3 first SUI right now. Tie with the programming languages, which is not the biggest deal for me, of course, unless you're a developer. You guys can correct me below what's better. If we have a look at active developers, I mean, we have to give Solana a point, a key point right here with 2,900, SUI 1,100. Like I said, guys, Solana is older. Solana's older. SUI is younger. 1,100. It's 2 years older. Solana's 2 years older than SUI. So of course they're gonna have 3,000 developers or 2,000 more developers than SUI does. But SUI is definitely growing fast right here, guys. You have to keep an eye on SUI because 1,100 developers right here is pretty darn great in my opinion. Wallet downloads, I'd probably say this is actually close to 5 million. I checked the Google Chrome store. It's sitting at around that level. SUI, it's actually sitting between 700,000. So of course this, I made some research, but I also did check the Google Chrome store and it was sitting at 600 to 700,000. And of course this is if you're actually comparing and combining the two wallets that SUI has. But one wallet on the Google Chrome has like 250,000 downloads. But guys, it's still way smaller than Solana. So of course this is not really an important point, but I still will give the green one to Solana. Okay, this is where we spoke about this at the beginning. Okay, we spoke about the network stability and we spoke how, you know, even though it does 65,000 transaction per second and it has proof of history, proof of stake, we know that Solana does have a lot of power outages. And I'm not saying a little bit, I'm saying a lot. We've seen it multiple times happening over and over again. When Solana scales, has a lot of volume, people are trading, it's the peak of the bull market, boom. Crashes, people don't know what to do anymore, people sell Solana, it creates FUD, it creates panic, the whole market crashes just because on that. So so far as of right now, there hasn't been any power outages on SUI yet, which is literally a very green signal. And pretty much that's about it. And of course, ecosystem maturity, more established, larger ecosystem, newer growing ecosystem. So this is kind of going back into the the market cap and whatnot. If you're looking for something newer and you're looking to make gains, right? You're looking into making 100x, 1000x, which is definitely possible in this market, by the way. Now, we saw what happened with Ethereum. You can't really make crazy gains anymore on NFTs, right? We saw what happened with Solana. Solana had NFT seasons. You can't really make crazy gains on Solana as well on NFTs. Or even meme coins. Yes, there are some meme coins that you can make crazy gains, but not as much as what it used to be, right? Now, a lot of people are actually shifting their focus to SUI. And SUI is definitely a newer ecosystem that is growing every day. And if you guys are looking to explore better and bigger and riskier opportunities, I guess I would definitely go with the SUI ecosystem. And if you're looking to essentially stay into the large cap meme coins and the crypto punks of Solana, which is the monkey business, then obviously you could definitely stick in the Solana ecosystem. But at the end of the day, it all depends on you and what you feel and what you're willing to risk and whatnot. A lot of people are going to be Solana maxis, so you can't really take that away from them. A lot of people are going to be SUI maxis, so you can't really take that away from them as well. But me personally, if you're looking for money opportunity and growth and you want to really take risk and boost your crypto portfolio, of course, I would definitely go with a SUI ecosystem. And if you're looking for something more stable, something a little bit safer, obviously you could go with the Solana ecosystem. But again, guys, we haven't seen that me Popcat on the SUI ecosystem just yet. We haven't seen that. Brett, we saw all these cryptos really exploding, but we have not seen high market cap cryptos on SUI just yet, and we haven't even seen $1 billion. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. And of course, you could say, well, the SUI price or market cap is sitting at $5 billion, so obviously we're not going to see $1 billion. But this is exactly my point, is that we will see that $1 billion market cap, and it's just a matter of time. So that is my video, guys. Obviously, if we have a look and tally up, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 with 2 ties right here. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to 6. Overall, it's pretty even. But like I said, guys, at the beginning of this video,